Hi, this is Chris
And Carol.
for coffee, and
Conversation.
we're here. Coffee, and we'll produce the conversation. Coffee is produced by Nine Flags Coffee Roasters at 1504 North Street,
Nacogdoches, Texas.
759.
65.
Oh, she's so good. She is so good.
Aren't there like 3 or 4, 5 different zip codes though?
I think there's 759, 61, 64, 63, 65.
Because 65 is mine, which is Appleby, but I don't know. Is that?
Should you be sharing that kind of private
Well, it's
information?
very general.
Okay.
I mean, you can go out there and search in the trees, but
there you go.
you won't
Searching
necessarily
it.
find me or my home. You're going to be walking around for a while, probably. So enjoy if you're a weirdo.
You're a weirdo. There are no weirdos at Nine Flags Coffee Roasters.
No, I guess not.
We were told that we should guess what coffee this is.
I guess I wouldn't have to guess. It's been a while since I had straight.
Wait a minute.
I'm not going to say it out loud.
Let's check the crystal ball. Oh, wait a minute. I'm getting a vibration. Is it in this hemisphere, I wonder?
I'm not even sure how a crystal ball works.
Like I'm doing.
Oh.
I know what it is. Would you like to guess?
Well, it's not really a guess.
You are so knowledgeable, it can't be a guess. This coffee is, let's say it together and see if we're right. Costa Rica. This is, people might think this is corny, and you might be right, but
That's okay.
We're going to get on to some good conversations here. Something that I would say a good conversation would be one that people have skin in. When I say skin, I'm talking about they have an interest. They would say, yes, I know that. A little more coffee, garçon.
Garçon.
Garçon, is that correct?
Wait,
Mademoiselle?
that's better. I'm not
Good
a waiter.
A waiter. I thought one of the things that we might talk about that most people would identify with are pet peeves. And I thought we might start with driving. For those of you who don't drive, this won't apply to you, but I think most people have a driver's license or had one at one time and maybe it was taken away. Some of us can vouch for that. Not me, of course.
I've never had a problem.
And for that, so what are your pet peeves in driving?
Number 1 is tailgating. Number 1. Hands down. That might be my only pet peeve, really, about people's driving.
How close do you have to be to tailgate?
Well,
10 lengths.
10 lengths?
10
Okay.
car lengths.
10 car lengths is tailgating?
I'm asking.
For me, it's
You see somebody in your tail and you'll say they're tailgating.
If I
How
can't-
close are they?
if I can't see their full vehicle in my rearview mirror. And even then, sometimes it's just, there's a sense of, listen, you're too close.
So you've got to see, let's say their headlights.
If I only see your headlights, you are too close. I need to see your whole vehicle in my rear view, minimum. So if a little bunny, which I will run over, I do not swerve for small animals. If I'm going highway speed and a small bunny jumps out in front of me and maybe there's a bobble,
We're eating rabbit.
well, you need to be far enough back
I
or
learned
you're
how,
not going to come into my trunk.
I learned how to drive when I was competitively racing karts. And
Are we talking like soap karts?
Go-karts.
Go-karts.
Go-karts. I ran
competitively?
Oh, yes.
Oh, I
Oh,
don't
yeah.
know this.
Hey, you guys that are out there in the kart world, here's one that needs to be going to the kart track. I'm going to tell you, the smell of benzene, alcohol, and all the other things they used to run in that gasoline. Whoa! Yeah, you get a high just on that. Good stuff. But they taught us how. You learned there that there was no tailgating.
Yeah, but that's a racetrack. It's not a highway.
There's a difference.
Yes. But no, sorry. See, immediately the attitude starts coming out.
See, here's the attitude. The attitude.
The racetrack is, the people on the racetrack are all committed to the same concept. I'd say more or less.
Everybody on the highway is going in the same direction.
Winning. There's a winning aspect. On the highway, I'm just trying to get somewhere. I'm not in a race. It's not a competition. I want to safely leave point A and land point B.
You know what?
End up at point B. It's not a competition. So therefore, the two things that might be appropriate for the racetrack are not appropriate for the highway or the general use roadway.
Gee, that changes everything.
Well, I think you knew that.
You know what my pet peeve is in driving? Here it comes. You want to make a left-hand turn.
Yes.
And the light turns green. You're in a left-hand turn lane. You're supposed to move out into the intersection. You move out into the intersection, so you have occupied your spot in the intersection. If the light happens to turn red, you can still turn left because nobody's going to run into you before you make your left-hand turn. But no, people have got to be sitting back there, not getting out there. The light turns red, they don't go. They have to wait for another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. I'm sorry, the attitude was starting.
Well, it's just, it's okay to get up. It's okay to get up in the intersection with your blinker on. Notify
of course,
the other folks what we're doing.
Let them know where the racetrack is.
It's not a racetrack. So just it's all being courteous.
Yes.
Is what how about unnecessary honking? Impatient honking. Now, I will say,
that's a peeve.
okay, so there is honking. When is honking supposed to be used? In an emergency to notify another driver of impending danger.
Is that in the Texas handbook?
I don't know.
More coffee.
Now, is it okay to honk at somebody like a light beep if they're
Didn't see the light come on?
Yeah, after a reasonable amount of time.
That's an informing honk.
Yes, that's okay. But if it's like, why are we blaring? Yeah, or somebody who is, the light has just changed and you haven't given them a second or two to move off.
Hey guys, you ever be there and somebody gives you that big long beat? Do you feel the testosterone coming up? I mean, do you feel the burn?
The temptation to get out of my car, get on the hood of my car, and feed the birds from that position is very high.
When I was a very young man, one of the things that we would do when people would honk to make us go, turn the car off, open the door, get out, open the hood, and fiddle around in there.
See, that's my thought process.
And as the light turns yellow, we close the hood, get in the car, and drive off and leave them at the light. This is not a suggestion for you guys out there.
These are the agitators that do go through my mind. Although I'm not doing it, it's just slow down, everybody. Just take a second. Why are we all in such a race to get everywhere? And quite frankly, nobody gets there any faster. You know, it's the person that's tailgating you, whips around you, gets in front, whips around somebody else, and then you both end up at the light at the same time.
So much for driving peeves. Any other peeves in the life of Carol? What do other people do that just irritates you? I got one, but I'll let you. Sold crepe myrtle and the way they're trimmed.
Oh, pruning.
Oh, let me tell you something.
Let me tell you a little something.
Now I'm going to tell you a story about Legostromia indica. That is crepe myrtles. It is a tough, Texas tough immigrant. I believe that came from China, if I'm not mistaken.
And it's pronounced crepe myrtle, not crate.
That is correct.
It's
It
crepe.
is crepe. Just like the ones you roll up with jelly in them and eat
Crepes.
them.
Or crepe paper that
Crepe.
you might hang for a birthday party or something. So.
Let me tell you, the way that people trim them is crepe murder. Is crepe murder. If you were going to trim an oak tree, would you cut the top out of it 6 feet high? No, you would not.
No.
The crepe myrtle has a wonderful shape to itself. It's airy. It's just profuse in blooming.
Yeah.
It blooms most of the summer if it gets enough water. And people want to go in there and cut the tops off it. You can have a deformed.
I came home to 4 of those. Now, they were not shrub. They had been trained into a tree, which is not the best look.
Yeah.
It's really a lot of work to keep them looking good. But I came home to 4 crepe myrtles, all butchered all the way around, and the of course the
first thing you would do is you would go to the sheriff and you would ask him how many years you would have to spend in prison for killing these people that murdered your trees, and see if it's worth it. No, just kidding again.
The
Podcast land.
individual involved in the pruning of it wasn't even pruning. The shearing of the crepe myrtles was the same individual that also sheared my Meyer lemon tree of its lemons.
Oh yeah, let's talk about lemons and citrus.
I don't know what it is with the citrus and the pruning, but it is a phenomena that apparently non-gardening people are drawn to pruning citrus without doing any research. For some reason, the citrus gets on their nerves and they feel the need to give it a haircut.
I know someone who decided, I will not mention any names here, but I know someone who decided that our Meyer lemon tree needed to be pruned.
Needed a haircut.
Oh yeah, I got a haircut. It was a butch, all the way down, about 2 foot off the ground. I came home and I saw it. It was killing me. But let's talk about other peeves. You might have a peeve. How about people that are always getting into your stuff?
Like rearranging my stuff?
Yeah. Is that a peeve for you?
Oh, here's the thing.
Here's the thing.
If you want to help, after I've put in some work to, I don't know, say, arrange a coffee display, why don't you ask? Individual.
Oh,
Instead of taking it apart without presenting one's bibliography on displays and merchandising.
Well, I think we suddenly moved into the personal realm there.
I'm just saying, courtesy, just ask. Why did you do it this way? What is it that motivates you to arrange things in this manner? Where did you learn this? Instead of coming through and
I have
wiping
my
everything off the
stuff in the
shelf.
garage. I know where all my stuff is. Leave my stuff alone.
The garage?
I can go right there. I can get all my stuff. And then someone who loves me very much, in a work of love, in an act of love, will clean up the garage and rearrange things. Now I can't
find anything.
I can't find the paint tape.
Yes.
I can't find anything.
We have the opposite problems. It is really not my garage, but I will become accustomed to where certain items are at. And there is this constant rearranging of the garage to where once I have figured out where things are, now they have been moved.
You out there in podcast land, you ever have any of these things happen to you? Are we talking your language? If not, let Nine Flags know what your peeves are, because we're sure to hear.
Now, I don't want to be painted as a negative Nancy.
A negative Nancy?
Yeah, or whatever, a poopy pants, any, number of titles that could come with complaints. I mean, I may have my pet peeves, but I also appreciate the flip side of a lot of them, which is, people being considerate, I guess, is people being patient, people, asking questions.
Well, moving right along, Carol, what might we recall when we are interacting with people? Those things that make us happy instead of our peeves. We don't want this to be totally negative.
Yeah.
So we're going to kick it up a notch and get the happy bug in here.
Yeah, so with driving, it's anybody that can just, well, first of all, a space cushion. If you give me a space cushion instead of tailgating. For those of you that don't know what a space cushion is, which you're probably the tailgaters, that is leaving a safe amount of space between you and another vehicle so that you can brake or get out of the way, etc., to protect yourself and the other driver. If you do not have a space cushion and there's an unexpected event where somebody has to slam on their brakes or move out, that's when a collision happens.
An unexpected event.
Yes.
Such as, and
A rabbit.
lest you think that I am a tailgater, I would counter that with, let me give you a situation where you would want to have plenty of room. A potential kidnapping, carjacking. You need room to negotiate around those other vehicles while you're laying down suppressive fire.
Oh, wow.
A little more coffee, Carol?
Goodness. I didn't even think about carjackings. I'm just thinking about like I said, like a cat running out in the road. Or, sometimes people, you might have a...
How about the middle of the night? How about the middle of the night where you're in a relatively remote area and a car comes up and bumps you in the rear? What do?
I'm going to keep driving.
Good idea. Drive to a place that's well lit and where there's other people, because this is a
It's a
ploy.
thing. Yeah.
It's
To
not
get
a
you to-
thing. It's a ploy. There's a difference. What's the definition?
Oh, a ploy would be a plan of sorts to entangle you in...
Of nefarious people who
Yes.
want to carjack you or kidnap
I'm
you
driving.
or rob you. So you would always go to a place that's well lit
Right.
and you would pull in
Don't
there where
stop.
there's other people.
Yeah.
Good idea. But let's get back to what makes you happy.
I like the little wave out the car window. A little polite wave if, somebody thanking you for being considerate.
How
Or
many-
in the rear view, sometimes people will wave.
How many fingers?
It doesn't matter. We have a neighbor that does this.
I've gotten that single finger wave before.
You kind of think you're in trouble first. You're like, no, it's just a little,
That's a good luck Hawaiian wave, I've been told.
Oh, really?
With the one finger, yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, well.
I hadn't heard of that anyway. But any wave just to acknowledge, hey, thanks for, let me pass or whatever it is.
Let me tell you something that makes me happy. And we're getting away from traffic. You have 3-4 days of dreary weather. It's cold, it's rainy, it's overcast. And then the front blows through and you got nice, crisp, dry, sunny days.
Yeah,
I will tell you.
I do love a sunny day, especially in the winter. And here you really get both types of weather. You get your fill of rainy, overcast, but it won't go on for, generally speaking, will not go on for like a month. It'll be a
Oregon.
front.
Oregon, Washington State.
Oh, no doubt.
Oh, they get
My
cloudy
uncle
days.
lives in Washington, and it's beautiful, but you really have to be ready for that.
I've heard a
level of-
number of people say that depression is a big problem there, and a higher suicide rate.
My grandmother, when they moved from Montana to Washington, she had a big problem with seasonal depression, and she had electroshock therapy on a regular basis.
There are people
And
that
it
have
snapped
said
her
that
out of it.
I need electroshock therapy,
Well,
but
maybe for just different reasons. I don't know. I don't think you do, but you know.
well, lots of depression up in the Northwest. Wonder if that could have anything to do with. There's a majority of liberals. We're not going to go there today, are we? We'll not go there today. Let me tell you something that makes me happy. When things cost less than expected.
Oh, that's a good one. That's so awesome. Where you're expecting, kind of expecting the worst or the biggest bill, and then it comes in even just a little bit less is good.
It's always pleasant to pay a little less. May I share a story with you from my past? Went down to Lufkin, and this restaurant now is no longer there, which may be part of my responsibility, seeing as I got a good deal. I don't know how many of you can remember when Lufkin and Nacogdoches were transitioning from dry counties to wet counties. They had a certain thing as a membership, and this was you could not sell alcohol in a restaurant, but if you had a private club, you could serve alcohol there. But to have a private club, you had to have a membership. So if you wanted to have a glass of wine with your meal, then what you would have that. There are things being put in front of us here that are distracting us. However, if you wanted to have a glass of wine with your meal, you would have to pay $5 or so, and that would be for your membership, and then you would pay for your wine. Well, to do that, you had to give them your driver's license. So I gave the waiter my driver's license, and he came back with my membership and brought me a glass of wine with my steak that I was having. And in a little while, I asked for my license. And he said,
so they
certainly.
would keep your license.
Well, they get the information
Okay,
off it or copy it, get your birth date, whatever it is, to prove you're who you are and you're over 21.
Okay.
So I asked for my license back. He comes back and he gives me a license. And I look at it, and it's a guy that's 20 years older than me and has a full beard. And I said, "What is this?"
That's hilarious. What?
I
Was he
would-
blind?
I would say this just like the Holy Family said when they had their baby, "What child is this?" And they said, "Well, this is your license." And I said, "Does that look like me?" No, it wasn't.
I can't believe this even happened.
They gave me the wrong license. And I said, "That's not me. Look at it. Just look at it." He says, "Excuse me." So he goes back. In a minute or so, he comes back and he's got the manager too. "I'm sorry, we have lost your license." They gave my license to someone else and they walked off without looking at it and then discarded it. So I said, "Well, now this is all about getting a better deal." The manager comes back and he says, "We've lost your license." I'll tell you what I'm going to do. There was 3 of us eating. All 3 meals are free.
Okay.
He is trying to do what a person ought to do.
Yeah.
To make up. And I really appreciate someone when they're trying to make up. Anyone can make mistakes.
Sure.
He's trying to
Remedy it as best
remedy
he can.
as best as he can.
Yeah.
So he does that. And then he says, "And you can have a membership for life." I had him write out the membership and it says
nice.
for life, expiration date. And I said,
Unfortunately.
if I'm going back home now and I get stopped, what am I going to do about a license? He's not going to believe me when I tell him that you lost my license. So he writes out a explanation that he is a manager of such and such
Okay.
restaurant, and please excuse him for not having a license because we lost it. I carried that for a while. It was my get out of jail free. At first I thought I could do whatever I wanted to do, and they wouldn't give me a ticket. Well, that was not quite true. However, I did not have a problem. I think somebody, look at this.
Some pie?
Pie.
I have some pie.
Now,
I'm going in.
let's put another little bit of coffee in
I
there.
can't have any more coffee. I gotta
You
tell
see,
you.
this is it. You always
I've been
mix
drinking
coffee
coffee
with chocolate.
all day. And I'm just going to be wild for the rest of the day if this keeps going.
Carol,
What's that?
I don't believe you can be wild.
It's not, you know, it's more just in here.
In there.
Yeah. I'm not necessarily out there.
It's the inner child bouncing
just
around.
Won't stop.
I got it.
And then I become annoying, you know, more so than
Annoying?
my regular level of annoying.
You know what my pet peeve is?
I
Is
don't-
doing podcasts with annoying people.
Well, takes one to know one, so there it is. I'm perfectly comfortable with being annoying. I don't care anymore. I don't care. I don't. Why should I? Are you okay? Why should I care? Big whoop.
Why should she care?
It's not my problem if you're annoyed. All of
I'm dying. See, this is what annoying people do to me.
Here's the truth.
The truth, and nothing but.
There's a difference between silly annoying, which I'm aware that I am,
Far be it from
and
you.
people that are annoying ignorantly so.
Let's talk about the ignorant.
Like I know exactly the things that I do that are obnoxious and might bother some individuals, and I know when to rein them in.
Well, talking about reining them in, Carol, I think we're just about out of time here. So, podcast listeners, we'll have to say goodbye. And this is Chris,
And Carol.
Coffee Conversations.